As a medium, television has many different characteristics than what people have come to know and love about YouTube. Television was something that captured audiences, and it was very rare for a family in like the 60s to not have a TV in their house. And today it's popular, but other mediums like YouTube have taken over people's attention. YouTube is free and easy to access, so it allows for people to use it every day, and it's more useful for the things that kids are doing. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Zoella and how she captivates her audience using Joshua Meyerowitz's development of paraproxemics, parasocial impressions, and also media grammar literacy. So the first thing that I'll be analyzing is paraproxemics and how Zoella uses it in her videos. So in his article, Television and Interpersonal Behavior, Codes of Perception and Response, Joshua Meyerowitz extends Edwards Hall's proxemics. So Hall described that the distance between individuals is often created according to their relationship and can be classified into 4 spatial zones. So those 4 spatial zones are intimate, personal, social, and public. So drawing upon Edward Hall's view of proxemics, Meyerowitz created paraproxemics. So he related it to television and how it creates a mediated distance between the characters and the viewers. So these distances can now be applied to mediums such as YouTube. So different types of YouTube stars can use them as well. So in his paper, Meyerowitz talks about viewer perception of response to characters on TV by saying that through paraproxemic variation, an actor in a television commercial, for example, may be presented to us either as an individual who makes a personal or intimate appeal, a close-up, or as an authority whose approach is based on social role, medium, or a long shot. So in relation to YouTube, Zoella uses a personal distance in her videos. So she'll record a video at a distance like this, where it's more personal, and it's like you're having a conversation with each other, rather than an intimate or public kind of spatial zone. This is just, it feels, like I said, it feels like you're having a conversation. You wouldn't be up in somebody's face if you were having a conversation with them. So she wants you to feel like you can conversate with her. So this creates the relationship that makes a viewer feel like she's a friend rather than just somebody he or she is watching on screen. But in her vlog, she'll actually shoot at a more intimate level. So she'll hold her camera about here sometimes, and it's very in your face, but she's allowing us to see her backstage. So talking about a backstage, the second development that Meyerowitz made was in relation to Erving Goffman's social interaction and his research on impression management. So he says that people automatically want to know what they're getting into. They want to know everything about the situation they're going into. They want to make a meaningful social impression to people, so they want to know what's happening in the social situation. So Goffman is known for his work on individuals' behavior and how it's broken down into 2 categories. So there's a front stage and a backstage. Your front stage is what people see all the time. Goffman talks about it as the individual is in the presence of his audience, and he plays out a relatively ideal conception of the social role. And then the backstage is the opposite. So the backstage is kind of like what people aren't seeing all the time, and usually only a select group of people see somebody's backstage, whether that be close friends, family. It depends. It's usually something that most people don't see because you do things and say things that you might not want to associate with your front stage and the front you're putting on. So Meyerowitz extended Goffman's work on that, and he created parasocial impressions. So he argued that television drama, the structure and arrangement of shots, can relationally establish a character for the viewer. The camera can, in a sense, make the viewer a teammate of a selected character. Zoella uses parasocial impressions because she wants her viewers to be a teammate. So she usually, on her main channel, she will use it'll be very front stage. She's well done, she's well behaved, she's funny, charismatic, doing things that people expect to see on her channel. Whereas on her backstage, she's showing everybody what's going on. So it's her second channel, More Zoella. She is videotaping her everyday life. She'll do daily vlogs. She'll be like, hi, like, this is what I'm doing today. Come along with me. And by doing this, she's letting people into her life and into that backstage that you don't always see with people, especially people on TV and movies. You don't always see their backstage because they're playing a character. Whereas Zoella may be playing a little bit of a character, but you can see that it's not always 100% a character. She's being genuinely authentic in the way that she's acting and talking and helping out her fans with things like anxiety, makeup, and all of that. So she kind of wants to be a positive friend. Through parasocial impressions, she's allowing people to view what most people wouldn't see unless it was for a medium like YouTube.
I became a very isolated and negative person, and I know that a lot of you that may suffer with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, feeling lonely, feeling isolated, or even if you're just down about something in general in your life, you'll get stuck in like this no mood. Like, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to see anyone. It got to the point where I was just like, I cannot continue to be like this. It's draining to be so down about things, and it's draining to feel like you're a former shell of yourself. You don't feel happy about the things you used to feel happy about. You don't spend as much time with your friends anymore. You don't do the things that make you happy anymore. And that's when I was just like, I could continue feeling this way and not noticing anything getting better, or I can start saying yes to things and see where they take me. The only way that you can step out of that horrible little box of badness is to push yourself and to do more things. This is the whole point of this video, is for me to say to you, you can do it, just push yourself and just say yes.
So a way in which Zoella makes her videos work to Meyerowitz's description of paraproxemics and parasocial impressions is media grammar literacy. So media grammar literacy, as defined by Meyerowitz in his paper titled Multiple Media Literacies, entails understanding and recognizing the standard range of production variables within each medium, as well as recognizing the ways in which the variables are typically used to attempt to shape perception and response to mediated communications. So in relation to her work with YouTube, Zoella has to learn the media grammar variables, which are appropriate for her audience. So TV often uses jump cuts, and they'll use sound effects and all of those things, but Zoella is on a platform like YouTube, so she doesn't always use jump cuts. She doesn't go back and forth between things. I think on YouTube, that's a huge thing. You must make your video a certain way and keep people interested, but not making it too long, because people can sit still for only so long. So what Zoella uses is close-ups. She likes to have it close enough to her face where you can see her and you can't always see what's going on like down below, because it creates a more intimate setting. Like I said, it's a personal paraproxemic. So Zoella uses like a typical DSLR camera. She uses a Canon EOS 600D. So she uses this, and it is a very nice camera, but it's not professional in the sense of the big Hollywood sets with the giant cameras and big lights and boomsticks. All she uses is her camera sitting there on a tripod with a mic built into she's got like a little attached mic that she puts on to the camera, and they have their own lights in her apartment that her and her boyfriend, who is also a YouTube star, use.
This is my light. It is a Manfrotto Spectra 1x1. I like this because you can change the brightness. So, oh wait, that's not the brightness. Brightness is there, so you can dim it, make it really, really bright. You can also change the colour, so you can make it warmer or brighter. By the way, this is the back of the light. That's the front, but I didn't want to blind you. And I really like these. I used to have soft boxes, but I moved on to these because with a soft box, you're changing the is it the aperture or the shutter speed? I'm not sure which one on the camera to kind of suit the softbox. Whereas this way you can kind of change the light without having to change too many settings on the camera. So apparently that's good. I don't know why I'm pretending like I know what I'm talking about, because I really don't. This is my tripod. It is the Velbon. I bought this in like 2013 because Alfie had it and he knew what he was doing with it. So
media grammar literacy for parasocial impressions that Zoella uses is she will always, not always, she will mostly film in the exact same room. So she has a bedroom that she has pretty lights behind her, the bedroom, and then she also shows us different little knickknacks that she has in there, but it's always the same setting. So it's a setting that you're seeing. You don't always see somebody's bedroom when you meet them, but she's allowing us to see her bedroom and to see like, oh, how do you decorate it? And that's a big charm for Zoella. So the setting is huge for her.
And then lastly, we had a little snoop through the home section, and I picked up these 20 LED battery operated lights. I actually have some like this hanging on the bed right now, but they're slightly bigger and these ones are a little bit smaller. And they are copper. You know what I'm like, guys, I'm obsessed with copper right now. Kind of rose gold coppery, and they're just so beautiful. I think I might drape them over my dressing table because I have a lot of copper in my bedroom. So yeah, got those, and they were only £6.
In her daily vlogs, the setting allows for a more personal, in-depth look at what her life is really like. So she'll videotape her days by doing different things around the house and the city she lives in. So this is a very big view into her backstage. She will film in her bathroom, getting ready for a bath. She will film what her bathtub looks like, what her bathroom looks like, and the concoctions that she's putting into her bath from Lush, which is one of her favorite places. And she will also film, usually she'll end her vlogs laying in bed with her boyfriend Alfie. They both are completely undone. He's usually not wearing a shirt. She's got makeup off, her hair's up, in just pajamas. And she's allowing us to see this very intimate time with her and her boyfriend, which allows for a parasocial impression. And she does this through setting like the bedroom and the bathroom and allowing us to view her backstage. So through both parasocial impressions and paraproxemics, Zoella uses specific media grammar variables to her benefit. So she creates relationships with her fans through all of this by being someone you can turn to when you need a laugh or advice about boys or makeup. She invites us into her bedroom to have a close and intimate conversation with her and makes us feel like one of her mates.